Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is time for Green Hell Racing's British versus German season. 3 weeks, 6 races, only one champion, maybe two, because we don't know if there's going to be a pro versus a pro and am split tomorrow yet. No one has said. We'll see what happens there. But you may get to see the pros and ams run together, or you may be in tune for 2 races tomorrow. So make sure to tune in. We will be starting right around the same time. But today is all about Brands Hatch. That's where they're racing. One race, sprint, 10-minute qual, 20-minute race. And to get started here, like I said, I wanted to pre-race a little bit today and work on just bringing it together, get people in early, make sure things are working right on the stream before the qual actually starts. And make sure I can provide you guys the best race and commentary experience possible by getting that stuff all old. I'm reading the chat with Huff, man. Old and out of the way, right? Like myself. That's all right, though. So to kick it off here, I just want to start and let's really start talking about some of these tracks as we cover races. I talked to some of the guys that I race with, and we did Friday night drinking and driving last night, and decided, I wanted to get the race commentary portion just a little more professional, just a little more of what maybe people want to see. Maybe the guys racing or anybody out there has kids and they want them to watch it and watch dad race or watch mom race for that matter. It doesn't matter, right? And they couldn't do that before because it was just a bunch of cussing and swearing and yelling at Red Ryder for making it rain on every single track we go on. So, in that vein, we're going to clean it up a little bit today. I am not changing entirely. I got my Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey with me, but just a little, 3 fingers, that'll do, right? We're good. And we're going to start off with a little bit of pre-race and give some folks who maybe don't watch, maybe who don't sim race, maybe don't play racing games at all, maybe they don't watch racing. I mean, obviously the Green Hell guys, I know, we all watch GT3, we all watch F1, a lot of us do anyway, not everybody. But there's some folks around, maybe like Bear or Giraffe's Hamster that, maybe you guys don't watch racing. Maybe you don't, you've never seen anything about it. So I decided to put together before each of these races a little thing to kick off for pregame. And again, we've got ourselves about 14 minutes until everything kicks off. So in that vein, let's take a look at Brands Hatch because that's where we're going today. And let's really see where the guys are going to be. So as we do take a little bit of a tour here, just some backstory, some history. Brands Hatch, located in West Kingsdown, Kent, England, in the UK. Relatively famous circuit. It's been around. The first race was actually held there in 1926, and it was between cyclists and cross-country runners, if you can believe it. I mean, this thing was a farm. Landowner was Harry White. The military used to actually train there. However, Ron Argent found the property, said we want to race, and they actually started to cut the circuit in. It was a dirt track. Motorcyclists started using it, and it was a 3/4 mile anti-clockwise track running through what is described as a natural amphitheater through this valley. Also, I'm trying to see here. Motorcycle races were very informal. And guys, I'll be honest, I'm just going to Wikipedia, right? So, but these first motorcycle races very informal, which much of the organization being done right there. And the initial racing was on a straight where Cooper Straight came to be when the track was finally tarmacked. So after World War II, we come up in the 1950s. After World War II, cinders were laid down. By then, it was known as Brands Hatch Stadium, and the motorcycle races continued through there. We don't see modern races starting to hit until the 50s with Formula 3 jumping onto the track and starting to run. So again, just to get a little bit of history, obviously it's gone through a bunch of different configurations. There's still, I believe, multiple. There's the Indy course, much shorter, but you also have the full GP circuit, which the guys will be running during our race today. So again, just a little back history on what you can expect at Brands Hatch, and we'll get into that in just a second with a little track guide as well. All right, guys, we'll back that down. I just wanted to give a nice overview, and that drone footage was really the best I could find. However, for the racers out there, for anyone who is watching and is not driving today, let's get right to what the drivers are going to see.
Hey everybody, my name is John and welcome to another one of our in-depth track guides for Assetto Corsa Competizione on the Traction channel. This time we will be tackling the equally fast and technical Brands Hatch GP. This epic circuit in Kent has a big reputation for punishing mistakes, and it can be very difficult to pull off clean overtaking manoeuvres, meaning your qualifying pace is often vital. Hopefully that's where we can step in and help you move your way up the grid. For this edition, we've selected the 2018 Ferrari 488. Mid-engine cars tend to go well around here, just as long as you can control the oversteer and turn it into an advantage. Let's jump straight in with the analysis. So here we are then for a lap of Brands Hatch GP. Heading into Paddock Hill Bend, you want to move towards the left of the circuit, braking at the 2 marker, although you can also use the orange paint on the Armco barrier as a reference, because in a race, somebody will probably already destroyed the other one. Change down to 3rd and stay wide on entry, giving yourself a nice late apex. Use the curb on the inside if your car allows, and open up the steering, utilising all of the exit runoff area. For Druids, brake just a touch before the orange mark on the wall situated right before the bridge, changing down to 1st gear. There are usually 2 ways of tackling this corner, either a V-shaped line or a U-shaped line. With the way the grip works in this game, I would suggest going for a U-shape at first, turning in nice and early and hugging the inside curb, but avoiding the fancy raised bits that come up towards the end. Short shift to 2nd, open up your steering and use the exit curb. Just be careful not to give it too much of a bootful and end up where Nigel Mansell's Mondeo did in 1998. Move back to the right in order to straighten the braking zone for Graham Hill Bend. Brake just before the curb, down to 2nd gear, turn in and aim to hit the apex about mid-corner, applying the power as early as possible. Again, use as much of the exit curb as you need and just watch out for the oversteer. For Surtees, you want to brake just after the 1 board. This is another corner with multiple lines and will likely require some experimenting. Personally, I like to aim for the middle of the road on entry, trail brake and carry a decent amount of speed whilst being wary for understeer. Aim for a late apex, getting the car rotated by increasing the steering lock midway through the corner and rolling off the brake more. Use the curb on the inside and power away up the hill. It's absolutely crucial to get on the power as early as possible here because of the long back straight, so if you can be fully on it before you hit the apex, then your lap time will reap the benefits. As you exit and open up your steering, just be careful with oversteer, especially in mid-engine cars such as the Ferrari and the McLaren. Use the exit curb, but watch out for the bump at the end of it, which I avoid by coming back onto the circuit just slightly earlier. Drift back to the left on the straight and prepare for Hawthorne Bend, which is the fastest on the circuit. Here, you want to brake and turn just before the 1 board, shifting down to 3rd. Aim for a late apex. On this particular example, I got a little bit of oversteer, so it could have been smoother, and you can also take a slightly narrower line through here if your car doesn't like going for the late apex. Get on the power as early as possible and use the exit curb. On this corner you can get away with kicking up a little bit of dust on the exit like I did here, but if you avoid the mid-corner oversteer that I had, you shouldn't need to run quite that wide. For Westfield Bend, brake just before the 1 board, shift to 3rd and get the car in and over the curb, carrying as much speed as possible. Get back on the power early and use all of the exit curb and matting. Stay over to the left through Dingledale in order to set yourself up for Sheens. Brake briefly and shift down to 3rd before hauling the car in early. It's a blind corner, so quite often there's a temptation to hesitate with the turn in, but practice makes perfect and it can be a very satisfying corner once you get it right. On the exit, just make sure you keep 2 wheels inside the white line. Get quickly back over to the right and straighten the car up for Sterlings. Brake just before the 1 board, change down to 2nd and use the banking to guide the car in towards the mid-corner apex. Use all of the curb, power on early and run all the way out as usual to the exit curb. Again, on this occasion, I got a little bit of oversteer with the way the Ferrari handles and has been set up, so if you want to avoid this, you can go in a different direction with car and setup choices. For Clark Curve, brake at the 1 marker board. Shift down to 3rd and roll in, aiming to hit the apex around about the midpoint of the corner. Use the curb on the inside and get the power down nice and early, using as much track as you need. Just watch for understeer, as the wrong line or being slightly too early on the power here can push you out towards the gravel trap, and if you touch it, you will likely get sucked in. Hug the pit wall tightly on the Brabham straight, and then as you cross the line, start drifting up again for Paddock Hill. And that is a lap of the Brands Hatch GP circuit. Let's show you it at full speed now so you can see how it all joins together.
And that is it, guys. That is a lap at Brands Hatch. So you have some idea of what these drivers are in for today. We're just about 5 minutes away from the start of qualification, so I'm just waiting for word on when I can start spectating the server. Oop, apologize there. The server's set up, 17-minute qual, 20-minute race, and welcome in there, UCE Bigelow. Thanks for joining me, man. Are you racing today or no? You are. Excellent. Well, these look like they're going to be fun. Let's put it that way. Oh, what do I want to do here?
That's a no-no.
That's too bad. What in the fuck here? Trying not to blow people's ears out when I talk or what have you. And I think I just broke it.
Are you racing today or no?
What's that?
Are you racing today?
No, I'm not racing this season. I probably honestly won't be doing much through the summer just because, well, I've kind of decided that I need to be outside more for summer. So
That's fair. It's raining today, so I can't really be outside.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, my roofers are finishing up today, so I'm a happy guy.
That's good. Where are you from?
Northern New York, almost up to Canada,
Is
actually.
that like Connecticut or some shit?
I think I'm like 5 or 6 hours from Connecticut. I'm way north of there,
Okay.
close to Montreal.
You could see a lot of Canadians over there.
What's that, man? Sorry.
Do you see a lot of Canadians over there?
Yeah, I see one every day.
That's pretty cool, I guess. Are they
Yeah.
super nice to you?
Oh, she's wicked nice to me every day.
Go ahead, Bob. Go.
Give me 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back. Like I said, we're about to start qual here in about 3 minutes. So good luck to you today, Bigelow. Hoping you do well and hoping everybody does well. Some good racing, hopefully. I saw Red's doing no driver meetings, so that'll get curious.
I'll have to pay attention. I usually use the driver meeting to know when to join. Cheap racing? Go.
Ooh. All right. I think I got everything set today. Hopefully. I've already got the password set, so we're going to go in and spectate. Watch Bigelow and a few other folks take laps around Brands Hatch. And again, this is probably one of my favorite tracks. Second only to Spa, I think. Spa is really my hook. I love it. But I could drive, and I need to get better at it, especially given what I learned in the last season of racing with these guys. I think I could do better on Brands Hatch, but I do enjoy this track a lot. Much better than Knowlton tomorrow. I won't be able to.
Yeah, I don't like Holton.
Yeah, it's just so skinny. I mean, that's a go-kart track, isn't it? Like,
It's so bouncy.
It is. I think
When
it was.
practice in the Audi just doesn't like it then.
No, not at all. That's what I drove last night when we were there, and I think it was Red that was saying he never felt it in the Lambo, but he threw himself into the Aston last night and realized what it was I was talking about with that Audi. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Aston, it wasn't that bad. That's why I was like, because I actually have a setup for the Aston for that one. So
Okay.
I figured I'd go with that.
Yeah. And was that I think it was you last night that asked me for the setups, right? For the Audi?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit, I forgot to send them to you. I have to get them
You don't
over
have
to
to
you.
worry
man.
about it. Sorry. It's about to start anyway. So.
All right, I'll get them to you for. Actually, I'll go get in there and get ready to do it now, so at least you'll have them for the rest of the season. I'm about an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was going to use it for Brands, but I can't now. So.
Okay, I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. I might use it. I'm debating between that or the Ferrari for season 7.
Okay. So. Oh. So now we're live and in effect.
Do you know if Chiefs racing or no? Why does he say it's raining?
I do know that he wants to. I know he's signed up for the season. I don't know whether or not he's actually racing today. He was going to be on the move, so we'll have to see. He said he was going to be missing some and doing others, so I think that's going to be the case with a lot of people this year, or this season, I should say, because it's summertime. Everybody wants to get at it. So let's get in there for qual. And let's fix that. So Bigelow's already out on the track, one of the only ones. Donkey Pete has joined. It looks like he was out there and came back in.
I don't know if I was allowed to or not. Nobody was moving.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, the qual started, so Doc Fork jumping in. Looks like we're gonna have a good race today. Quite a few people. We're already up to 13. Red Rider's actually getting a run, so that's good. And real quick, as we go through qual here, folks, just want to welcome everybody to the stream. Thanks for joining today. Again, you're watching Green Hell Racing's British versus British versus German season, mini season. We're doing 3 weeks, 6 races, and you can expect us back here tomorrow for the longer race at Oulton Park, and possibly going to have a pro and an AM class. And Taints has returned. The man whose name I love to say. At least I do not have to say Mac Daddy yet today, or Mick Daddy. But Taints is back on the track, driving his Bentley. And hopefully we'll get to see a few more people join here, or not, and we'll go down through the roster as these guys finish up. 8 minutes left qualifying. And no one as of yet has set a lap.
Almost bend it. I was originally going to use the bends.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I actually used it, like in a multiplayer server, it felt like the response was way off.
What are you in? You're in the Aston? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that the McLaren that Red's driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Using it earlier when we were practicing.
A lot of McLarens on the track today. Yeah, Taints is back, Huff. Oh, he was there at the beginning of the last season of GHR, and I remember commentating the first race, commenting how I didn't want to say his name, but that's all right. I'm glad to see him back and racing with you guys today. So we'll sit back and wait for some times to come in. A 10-minute qual is pretty short. It's only a minute, what would you say on average? I mean, I guess a minute 25, right, if we're talking low end versus the pros are going to run maybe 122s. I haven't seen any 121s as of yet, even in the track guides I've watched. Most of those guys are in the 122s. So call it 122 to 126, depending on if they're pro or am. So you got time to get a good number of laps, get some heat in the tires, and get yourself around the track for a nice, clean, hot lap. Depending on how much fuel you brought, you probably don't have to go back, or if your setup's already dialed in. And I know a lot of our guys in GHR do practice throughout the week, so really they're just looking to adjust to weather conditions. And with a 35-degree temperature track today, it's not going to take much to get those pressures right where they need to be. That's for sure. And Doc Fork sets our first time in at number 1 at 126.904. We have a late joiner, Nat JB Shody, in the house.
I'm pretty sure his name is Nature Boy.
Nature Boy? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I think so.
And just to give everyone a heads up, if you're watching the race today, and again, you want to take a look at multi-twitch, I have my notifications turned on specifically for this reason. Yeah, that was you, Chief. I do turn it on specifically for this reason because nobody really posted early enough for me to know. But Steadfast is live today, so he may be joining us. Oh yeah, he's in there. Okay, we got Steadfast in there. B Fife is live. Pizza Man Pete and Dan 00A are all live on Twitch today. So as I've encouraged you guys before, if you jump to multitwitch.com, you can actually put all of us together. You can watch commentary, also see the race from their perspective if that's something you want to do. And again, with these guys streaming the race, I encourage you to do so. Any more that pop up as we're going, I'll try and let you guys know about so that you can add them to your stream if you so desire. One of the great things here. Hey, Ferris, thanks for following, man. Much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. And we see Doc Fork has lost it over into the sand. But Taints now, a lot of people setting times as we get through this. Taints is 1.3 back. Number 2, Max Charb with a 1.7. He's probably going to be happy with that, given that Dr. Fork has dropped it to a 125.6. Donkey Pete up there, 2 seconds out. Bigelow, you're running 2.6 out, putting yourself in number 5 right now. Good to go. BK climbing up, just knocked Flying Jim back 1, put himself at number 6. And again, Jim at number 7 with a 2.9 over, Steadfast at a 3.3, and Dan 00A at a 4.020. I mean, that's probably close enough for Chief, right? He doesn't really care. He's not picky. So, as I say that, B Fife has jumped to the top at number 2 and only 3.8 tenths off the pace. So sprint race is really that. Again, for anybody who's watching who's uninitiated, whether it be, Shorty's racing, we better watch out. But whether it be giraffes, whether it be bare necessities and folks like yourselves, and I just say that, I pick on you two only because I know you don't really do sim racing. The hard part here is, again, that 10-minute qual seems like a long time when a lap only takes you 125, but it's not. Between getting your setup set, getting your tires set, making sure you're matching that track temperature, and then possibly, your first lap doesn't count, right, because you're coming out of the pits, so you get no time on that first lap. Your second lap around is your first one for setting a qual time. From there, if you it looks like Dan 00A and Taines both, and I think I saw Red Rider in there a moment ago. If you need to adjust your setup, if you need to make changes, you got to go back to the pits, and now you're talking about, again, 2 full laps before you can set one. So depending on what you have to do to dial that car in to race the way you want it to, you really have an opportunity for what, 5, maybe 6 laps, and that, I think that's even pushing it, to set a good qual time. I don't know, personally 15 minutes of qual is good for me. I'm usually done in the first 10 minutes, but that's also because I practice a lot before a race. I don't have to fiddle with my setup very much. It's as good as it's going to get for a racer like myself who is solidly in the AM class right now. But some of these guys really know how to dial their cars in. They really know how to extract the maximum amount of speed from them, meaning the shortest time around the circuit, right? And so in doing so, they're going to go back to the pits 2, maybe even shoot for 3 times. I don't know about it in a 10-minute qual if that's possible, but they're certainly going to try. And as we get down to a minute 40 left, people are going to start finishing out their laps, and we take a quick look. Chief Blaze has finally joined. Maybe he's going to get a time in, but I doubt it. I think he's just going to sit in the pits right there. And Chief, so glad you are able to join us and join us on the stream. Ferris, thank you for the follow. And yeah, a lot of our fast guys are out here. I'd be love to see Zorax and Shorty again. I think I got one race, an opportunity to see those guys go once, and it certainly wasn't enough. It's something I'd like to see more of. But as it dials down, we get down to the final minute, we will start looking at our qual times here. We've got NatJB Shorty on the Discord server at a 125.323. We'll see B-Fife right behind him, actually beating out Doc Fork, only 2.5 tenths behind. But again, Doc Fork right there with that 3 tenths time, sitting right behind B-Fife. Max Charb in number 4 and Taints in number 5. And that rounds those out. Coming down from there, Donkey Pete, BK Ferrari. Bigelow, you are sitting at number 8 with us, sir. It's a good spot to start.
Might beat it right now.
Excellent.
Oh no, I fixed it, but I didn't go up.
Oh, that's all right. You still tooled in your time, I think, because I think you were about 3 seconds back, and now you're only 2.7. So obviously, whatever you did certainly worked, right?
A little bit.
Little bit.
Fucked up at the end a little bit.
Running down through behind Bigelow, we've got Patty Odo. Excellent to see him out here today. Red Rider finally set a time, 3.9 off the pace. Flying Jim with a +4. Dan 00 Alpha with a 4.4. Steadfast with a 4.4. And I am Stan Lee with a 4.4. So I could see all 4 of these guys, 11, 12, 13, and 14, all running really, really well. And for some reason, my controller and everything is just going nutty. That was weird. And we got one more late joiner to give us 16 people in the race. Let's see who this is. Pierre has joined. Excellent. So a really nice lineup. Yeah, the race will be 20 minutes. Yes, sir. I know, Max is blowing it. Zorax is here. Your time?
Yeah.
There's no time left to run. You are in number 8 at a 2.7 over the 124 that Nat ran. 124.5. The timetables here don't show me, I think. Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh,
hold on, I got you.
I'm just trying to figure out my fuel.
Nope, you're good, man. You ran, you're back to 9th now. Somebody jumped up. You're at a 127.3. So you're back with, you're running with BK. Patty Odo's right in there, and Dan 00A. Probably Red Rider and Flying Jim as well. Excellent, guys. Well, I got to jump out of the server real quick. Bigelow, if you do me a favor and let me know when the formation lap starts, please.
Yeah.
Because that's usually when I can come back in as a spectator and not lock myself on the pits. I love the limitations of the Xbox and trying to spectate.
Yeah, it's the way it's set up. It's not very console friendly.
Well, that's like, yeah, and I talked to somebody about commentating the PC races if they ever get started, and I'm like, it'll be very curious. I'm gonna.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm gonna have to learn all the PC camera commands and then what all I can do with it because you're so limited on Xbox. So.
Yeah.
Hey Zorax, welcome to the show, man. Fork, I see you're here. Awesome. Thank you for joining. And I don't know. Did I see? Let's see here. Red Rider is also live. Let everybody know about that, along with the other ones I mentioned earlier. So again, you can head over to multi-twitch. Fork might be streaming. I know he usually does. I don't think I saw a notification, but I might have missed it too. But again, head over to multitwitch.com. Loop those guys in. You can hear my commentary if you want to, along with being able to watch all these guys in their in-car views. It's very easy to click through and change, the focus of what you're seeing. And that way, give you the broadest perspective on the race as possible. And I welcome, hey Zorax, what's up?
I just realized it's raining.
Oh, lucky you. It's supposed to come here later, so I'm not.
No,
really...
I mean like.
Oh, in the.
Race.
Oh. Wow.
I don't even know how much gas I need now. Fuck.
Had to tell Chief he's got to calm down, man. Good vibes today. Good vibes. So Bigelow, while we're waiting here, real quick, before I can jump back in there, let me ask you a question, man. What is it about doing this you enjoy? I like talking to people and finding out what they like. What is it about the sim racing you love?
I like going fast. I don't know.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. With the right, and we're all on different setups, right? Myself, I can only do this, because I have kids at home. I can only do this in my theater downstairs. I have an 82-inch TV, which sounds really cool until you realize it's not mounted for racing. It's mounted for watching movies, right? And it's
Formation lap's about to start too, by the way. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, man. It's mounted for watching movies, so it's a little higher on the wall. And I'm sitting in a play seat challenge. Doesn't really work, but we do the best with what we got. And you know what? I feel like I'm going fast, and I'm never going to get to drive these cars in real life. So I'm with you on that, 100%. What kind of gear? What kind of gear do you use?
I have a Logitech.
Do you? Okay, the 920 or 29?
Yeah, the 920.
All right, me and you running the same thing, man. Only thing I did was upgraded my brake with the True Brake. I did throw that in there.
I was debating about getting a MVHS or MVH, I think it's called, Studios.
Okay.
Custom wheel. They make pretty dope F1 custom wheel.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
But I figured ever since the Fanatic news came out, I'm probably just gonna get that now.
Yeah, everybody's jumping to that line, man. I'm doing the same thing actually. I have a shopping list built with the McLaren wheel because I was told, starting on Xbox, I was told going up to the higher step wheel that's kind of the same. It's not really going to help you because the buttons aren't usable. So I figured I'm going to start with the McLaren wheel, the Club Sport pedals, the V3s, and then that new CSL DD base is going to be my starter. So I can't wait with the upgraded power supply because I want that full 8 newton meters to rock with.
Yeah.
So.
I like I'm probably going to get the F1 wheel and then have it drive me crazy to buy PCs to actually use all the buttons. But...
Yeah, I'll move to PC eventually, but it'll be a couple years because I really have nowhere to put it until one of my kids leaves home, right? And he's going to college this fall, but we're going to let him, obviously he's going to stay here, so I'll have to wait a little while.
Build him a shed.
I have one. I should just shove him out there with the mower, right?
Yeah. Just put a bed in there. He'll be fine.
Exactly.
Never practiced in the wet here before. Oh, why is it?
Hey everybody, Chief Blaze has joined us for the race. Alright folks, so in the rain, Brands Hatch taking a quick look down as we line up in double file. Nat JB Shorty in number 1, B Fife sitting number 2, Max Charb, Doc Fork, and Donkey Pete rounding out your top 5. Coming in the back there, we've got Patty Odo, BK, Bigelow, Red Rider, and Dan 00 Alpha. I'm going to call him Alpha. Sounds like an alpha. Rounding out the top 10. And backfield, Stan Lee, Flying Jim, Chief Blaze, Steadfast, Taints. I don't know who Jama Kin is. I've never seen that person before.
I've never seen that person, yeah.
Yeah, but we got him and Pierre at the back of the field, who I know at least Chief, Jama Kin, and Pierre did not qualify. But here we go. Green light, and we are off for racing for sprint at Brands Hatch.
It's going to be so scary. Oh my god.
And as we come down into turn 1, so far everything's staying clean from what I can see of my perspective. Trying to keep an eye on the field with everybody tightly packed here. We'll go in the middle. And, we got someone backwards. We got
Fork. Of course it's fucking Fork.
Fork's gone. Fork's into the corner. Didn't appear to take anybody with him terribly, but we've got folks off the track all over down into turn 3. We've got Jama killing, and yeah, it is going all over the place.
In the grass.
This dude was in the fucking... He crushed me in... Oh, fuck, what race? What was the second race in Season 6?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. I have a stoner
He showed up
man.
for that race. It was the only race he showed up for. And he binned it and just left and never showed up for a race again until now.
Max Charb running clean in 3rd right now. Shorty has kept himself out of trouble and is currently in 4th in that Bentley. And B Fife, we're going to get a repeat of Spa here with B Fife 1.1 behind him. That is not the biggest gap we've ever seen. Max running with Patioto, right behind him. As we come down through the field, folks, BK Ferrari 1.4 back from there. But again, Taines and A Flying Jim right now side by side. Looks like Taines has pulled ahead just a bit, but we're talking... Oh, and as we come down side by side through T1. Oh, and... Oh, it looks like Dan 00 Alpha has spun Flying Jim into the sand. There are going to be some incident reports from this one. That might not have been A00. It's so hard sometimes. I got to turn the names on over the cars.
It looked like BK.
Yeah,
I think it was BK and Jim.
It was BK. You're right.
Because I'm right behind BK now.
Okay. I've got to turn the names on over the cars. It's the only way I'm going to be able to track this. You guys change the liveries every other week, so...
You'll always know my livery.
I hope so now. You're going to stick with that. The Beats shits, for anybody who is curious. Yeah, Huff, I did. I upgraded the brake. That True Brake actually is really good because I wanted something with more flex, and it put it there for me. So now actually, when I put pressure, I don't feel like it just stops.
Oh,
it actually,
Jim, late braking me. Holy shit,
just
buddy. Oh, that's Stan.
Flexes in a little bit, and really pretty good. Yeah, Dark Knight. Ireland has entered the chat. Hey, She Winged It. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining today. Happy to see you here. I thought maybe you fell asleep on us earlier or something. I didn't see you in the Discord. I will let you know if Jim... again. Everybody's watching everybody here. All right. Just about 3 minutes in, couple laps in the rain. Again, Nat has just opened it up front. B5 sticking with him, though, with only a 1.3 second gap between them.
Jim, what are you doing, bud?
What's going on back
Jim
here?
hit me twice.
Chief's got the Boatley back here in traffic, guys. You guys are so tight back here. Doc Fork in number 9, right? And he's going wide into the sand. But you know what? I don't wonder why, because you guys are trying to go 3 wide up into T2. Someone just went off the wall. Chief Blaze.
I got that position back.
Well, you know what? You're at the front of a pack that you might want to stay in front of, sir.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's why I got the position back. Jim hit me twice. Fork went by. I took all 4 of those positions back.
No, Fork is gone now. But you've got I Am Stan Lee right behind you, and Steadfast with him. Dr. Fork with them. I mean, you guys are all running right now within a second of each other, and I'm talking about 5 of you stacked up.
I was right on the back of BK, but fighting with Dan.
And I do see Chief Blaze is opening it up a little bit now, a little over half a second ahead of I Am Stan Lee. But Steadfast is keeping it right there, and Doc Fork as well. All these guys are going toe-to-toe. We got a group of 5 drivers who have just decided it is on like Donkey Kong.
I actually have some action today. This is fun.
There you go, see?
This is what racing's like?
This is what racing's like. Let's go racing. Red Rider.
Just like get shoved into the wall.
And even Red Rider, only 3/10 back off Doc Fork right now. These guys are bumper to bumper coming under the overpass. Side by side around the back corner. But Stanley just opened up and went wide. Red Rider right on the back of Doc Fork now. Steadfast, kind of leaving folks in the dirt a little bit. But Chief Blaze has opened it up over 1 second between him and Steadfast at this point. Excellent, excellent driving. And it looks like Patioto has gotten ahead of our boy Max Charb. But Max not giving up, only, opened up a little bit to 1.2 during the update there. So spreading out just a tad. But again, this is back here is where all the action is. We've got Steadfast who went off track. Doc Fork has moved ahead of him now. So, Chief, you're going to have to contend with that here in 1.6 seconds behind you.
Definitely has the pace on me, but can he stay on the track?
Steadfast doing his best, while Red Rider has lost it and gone off into the grass. It looks like he might think he's driving that tractor. Because he was just staying over there for a long time. But let's get back to Chief Blaze here, because we know Doc Fork now closing the gap under 1 second up to Chief Blaze.
I can see him. I'm not even going to fight this. Just go by. It's first race this season.
Right?
Nope, he's in the grass. Didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, he's riding the wall. Slid it right off into that wall and skidded his nose. Oh, and took out the brake marker. Perfect.
Gotta love it.
A2 Flying Jim keeping right up on Steadfast at this point. Only a 0.4 second gap between them. As we run, this is really tight. I mean, you know, and this is what I find even with watching the GT3 races. You're right, Huff. Max has wickedly improved. It's awesome. Lurking, gotta eat breakfast. No problem, Winged It. Happy to have you here. Even Lurking. Catch some racing if you'd like. We all love it. Looks like at 30 minutes. Well, the race isn't going to last 30 minutes. Rain will stop in 30 minutes, guys, just so you're aware.
Nice. Wow,
nice.
Perfect.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, whether we're talking about real life GT3 racing, whether we're talking about here, you know, the Nat JBs and the B-Fifes, guys are fantastic, right? They're wicked fast, can drive these cars. But if I'm being honest, I want to come back here to Taines with Dan 00 Alpha having put his car off the track. I thought we were going to get a play here, but Dan is not doing well yet right now in that McLaren. So as we wait for times to update, Max Charb back into third. But my point there was, you know, Shorty and Fife are off running to the races. They're gone. They might get a chance to play with each other, but with only 12 minutes left, it's hard to say. Nat has opened that gap up to 3.4 seconds. But really, where I'm interested is we got Patty Oto back here. Taines is 0.2 behind him, right? And this is where we're seeing the fun driving today, because even now Dan 00 Alpha, Flying Jim, is only 1/10 behind him, with Steadfast only another half a second until he went into the wall and has just rejoined the track. You guys are all over the place today. I'll give you that. Patty Oto in that Bentley, and Taines coming up with the green one. Green and orange, those are good colors. But let's see how these guys do. Down into T1. Taines making his play up the hill. Going up side by side into T2. Oh, I think Taines got him. Yep. I think, oh, maybe not. Down into T3, still side by side. And Patty Oto pulls it out just a little.
Come here, BK. Come here, buddy. Let's go.
But Taints is not giving up. He is sticking right to the back bumper of Patty Oto. Both these guys running the Bentleys. And
Taint's getting the runs.
Taint is running on Patty Oto. Oh, I love the camera goes up to the billboard. That's awesome. Let's see where we can go find some more action. A2 Flying Jim with only a 7/10 advantage on Red Rider, with Pierre right behind him. You know, just because you name yourself Red Rider doesn't mean you have to make your car red. I don't know why you do that, but whatever. Hey, awesome.
He was
camera.
also born in 1883.
Apparently. Pierre sitting at number 12 right now, but with Steadfast coming up right behind him as we wait for the camera to swing around. And something happened to Red. Red's back now. I can't. There we go. Thank you, camera. We're going to do this, guys, and see if we can pull this camera back a little bit. That's better. That's a better camera angle. Doc Fork now down back into number 10th behind Donkey Pete, only a half second back. And again, if you guys do want to multi-twitch, Donkey Pete is actually Pizza Man Pete on Twitch. Do a search for that, you will find him. And unlike myself, I don't know how he does it. That cat can actually read the chat while he races. And Chief Blaze, what happened, buddy? You got Donkey Pete and Doc Fork both went around you off the track. That's a shame.
I was chasing down BK too. Damn.
It's all right. We still love you. Patty Oto and Taints still going right to it, all by themselves right now, with Max Charb having a 5.5 second advantage on Patty Oto. The only competition around him right now is Taints. Both of them driving Bentleys.
Oh, Fork is in the grass.
No. Yes, he is. Just a sliding. Him and Red spent a lot of time cutting that grass today, aren't they?
Let's see if I can get Donkey Pete.
And somebody just... Chief, you just... No, that wasn't... Who just ran wide? Somebody just went way wide right around Donkey Pete, but I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, I was a second off BK, and now I'm 7 seconds.
Back and check on the Patty Oto and Taints contest. Yeah, I know Taints has the pace, but I don't know if he's been driving because he was only in one race for Season 6, so we'll have to see if he can take it to Patioto. One thing I will say after watching Season 6 and commentating on the pro races, Taints is off into the grass at this point. That's definitely going to hurt him.
God damn it. Come back here, Dan.
And taking a quick look, Steadfast, Flying Jim coming up right behind Steadfast now. 6/10 behind him.
Yeah,
but I will say
he can
this.
stay on the track. I can't catch him. He's running 131s.
Watching this pro season, one thing I can tell you about Patioto is not only has he improved, because I think he started the Season 6 off towards the back of the field, right? But consistent. You don't see him in incidents. You don't see him getting waffled. You don't see him waffling anybody. Just a consistent driver who doesn't cave to pressure, doesn't give up positions easily, and has continued to do that every time we watch him. So, and now has opened that up. Yeah, into that detour into the grass has hurt Taints. He's now 2.8 seconds back off Patioto. Nobody running super close right now. We do have a Flying Jim coming up on the back of Steadfast at this point. Those two are going to take a run together down the straight. Now, if I'm Red Rider and I got 7 minutes left, I might let these two figure out what they're going to do before I decide to come around them as we come across the start-finish line down into T1. Great passing opportunity heading back up the hill into T2 if you can pull the speed out and hold on to it. But Flying Jim is definitely sitting on the bumper of Steadfast. Almost pushed him around that corner.
Oh, that's why I'm understeering. Okay.
Fork and Red's landscaping service, that's right. A2 a little off track there, but hopefully can tighten it back up with Steadfast. And it looks like Donkey Pete has closed the gap on Ferrari. He has. With Dan 00 Alpha not far behind him.
Chief not far behind him.
Well, 2.6 seconds. I mean,
They're 2 seconds from each other.
no, they're not. They're 3/10 from each other.
Ferrari and
Ferrari and
I'm
Pete.
looking at the wrong.
Oh,
I'm looking
gotcha.
at Dan and what's his face?
Oh,
Yeah. Donkey Pete chasing down BK Ferrari right now. Oh, a little swerve. Had to cut it to make sure he didn't waffle him. And did he head into the pits?
Yes.
He did. Donkey Pete is into the pits. I don't know if they hit there or not.
There's
He
no
had
pit
to.
stop, right?
No, but he had to make a
there
cut
isn't.
to keep
Had
from
to
running
go
into
fix the
BK.
image.
Yeah. The front of the car is looking a little busted up. But again, I don't know if he hit him there or if it was before that. Nope, he's doing a straight drive-through. I think because of his cut, he lost control and ended up having to just swing into the pits to avoid an incident. So, Chief Blaze now running behind in 8th, Dan 00 Alpha. And coming up quick with 9/10 of a gap, Doc Fork, actually not 9/10, he's there now, folks. 6/10 of a second. Again, because of the way this updates, it's sometimes very hard to see how close they actually are. But Doc Fork about to put it to Chief Blaze. Let's see if Chief caves to the pressure or if Doc Fork goes a-mowing again.
I really need to stop trying to brake late in the wet.
Fork just sticking right with Chief Blaze. And Chief, I mean, even to your own admission, he's got the pace, right? You know that.
Yes.
But doesn't mean you don't defend your position, whether or not he's faster.
Correct.
So let's just see how this plays. You race, we'll talk. I'm going to watch you go. And Bigelow, what happened? You said you had to go in the pits to fix damage?
Yeah, the Jamaica kid hit me.
Which one?
The other kid that you guys never seen before.
Yeah,
he left already.
Yeah, he's gone now.
He did the same thing in the second race of season 6.
Oh, no kidding. Doc Fork still riding on the back end of Chief Blaze. 1/10 separating these guys as we come up into T2. Trying to make his move on the inside, and he pushed Chief Blaze right around. And
Seriously, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like,
he might be.
how many times
it's
are you
not
gonna
that
hit
funny.
the same person?
He did give the position back, so at least he did that. He's learning, right?
But seriously, every time we're in a race, like, I can't even get mad anymore because it's just expected. Like,
But what that has caused is everybody to stack up now. We've got Steadfast with A2 Flying Jim right on his rear end, and Red Rider
dude, I'm
only,
so tempted to just fucking lock up the brakes. I'm so angry.
like last night when I did that to you.
Yes, exactly.
I saw that.
It was the best ever. I was
She
literally,
just goes, what?
I literally had tears in my eyes because I saw him coming. I knew it was the last lap. We're just screwing around. And I said, you know what? He's not having this, and I'm going to make him pay for it. And I just I think I put my whole body weight down on that brake pedal. It was awesome. Chief Blaze now number 11th, and Doc Fork running side by side.
Nice.
And he is off. Doc Fork was off track, and I think we lost Donkey. Is that Donkey Pete? Yeah, I gotta turn on names above cars, guys. I don't like doing it, but I'm gonna have to. I can't keep y'all straight because of the livery changes and everything else. Steadfast has jumped up now into number 8. BK Ferrari right in front of him. Doc Fork is now down to number 11, still behind Chief Blaze, but opened it up a little bit because of his goofing around back in the back there. Donkey Pete back down into 12th now. 1:55, less than 2 minutes left in the race today, gentlemen. Fork race. Damn Shorty got a 24-second lead on B-Fife. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, again, and we got Doc Fork off into the grass once again. At least did a good re-entry and did not hit Donkey Pete coming back, although it looked kind of close.
Who's in the pit right now?
Right now would be A2 Flying Jim has pitted.
Yeah, he spun on the track, and I caught him with the Bentley. T-boned him. It was game over for him.
Jesus.
Oh,
It
wow.
was game over.
He spun in the
Especially
grass,
in the
came
Bentley.
back on the track right as I was coming around the turn.
Gotcha.
Game over.
Donkey Pete has opened it up a little bit on Doc 4 now, a 1.3 second gap. And we've only got about 1 minute left in this race. So coming down to the final lap, folks. And yeah, Huff, that's what I was saying. Like, I love that these guys can drive so fast. But when they're the only ones, honestly, 1 and 2, it's not interesting, right? That's not racing. Those guys get to drive. And again, all the skill in the world. I can't drive that fast. My hat is off to them. But I love seeing these contests that we've had today. There have been some really good races going on. So, super fun.
I don't know how Fork tries to go on the inside of that corner when I already have the inside.
Yeah, I think, looking back at that, I really think you had that line.
Yeah,
I really do. So coming down to the last 11 seconds, leader is on the final lap. That is Nat JB Shouty on Discord. B-Fife running deep behind him. Patioto about a 4-second click behind that. Number 4 is Max Charb. And we got Taints in number 5. Did he just pass Max, though? He did. Taints just pulled up into number 4, I believe, around Max. It's hard to see if Max gave that up or if he was having a little trouble on that
right
corner.
on the back of me. I'm coming around the last corner. Oh,
Yeah, he is. Oh, come on, camera guy. There we go. Donkey Pete making the move on Chief Blaze on the inside. Getting close. Going to trade paint. And Chief runs wide. Caves to the pressure of Pizza Man Pete. That was fantastic. And it looks like, yeah, Taines moved up into 4th place in front of Max Charb.
That was for the points.
It was for the points, and he took them from you. And as we watch everybody come across the line, folks, we'll see those checkered flags fly.
Oh, this is last lap.
And Chief spins it off into the dirt one more time.
Well, I thought I was done. Now it's last. Now we're on checkered.
Nat JB is your winner of the Brits British versus German season of Green Hell Racing, Brands Hatch Edition. Race 1, Week 1. But again, we'll be back tomorrow, folks, for Alton Park. I'm hoping somebody will tell me how many races are going to be. Either way, we're going to be here for both of them, whether it's Pro and an AM or whether they're together in one race. Doesn't matter. We're going to bring it together, and we're going to have it right here for GHR.
So far, it's just Pro.
Okay, so far there's just one race so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Either way works. B5 clocking in and locking number 2 position. 39 seconds behind Shorty, though. That tells you, I mean, look, B5 is no slouch. That cat can drive, okay? And yet still, 39 seconds behind Shorty and Nat JB. Taints rocking number 4, Patty Ototh number 3, and Max Charb locks number 5. Dan 000 back to the pits, coming around the last lap. He is your number 6. Ferrari has locked number 7, Steadfast number 8, Red Rider number 9. Maybe not sandbagging as hard as we thought, but he did beat Chief Blaze today, which he could not do last night. And Donkey Pete rounds out your top 10 and your point winners today. Again,
well, I mean, Fork did take me out, so.
Fork took well, he took himself out a lot more, so, and he did land at number 12. As we finish out, Chief Blaze, Doc, Fork, Stan Lee, Pierre, Bigelow, Flying Jim, and Jamaican, who wasn't there. Flying Jim and Jamaican not actually finishing the race, both of them ending in the pits. So, all that being said, thank you all for joining today. Much appreciated. We will be back tomorrow for Alton Park for a much longer race, 20-minute qual, or a 15-minute qual, 45-minute race. And so far, only one, but stay tuned. Be prepared to watch two, because you never know. There might be enough folks. Thanks again for joining the stream, everybody. I am out for today. Have a good one.